We are going to continue this morning by celebrating the life of a TV legend, longtime member, beloved member of our ABC family, Regis Philbin, passed away over the weekend just a month before his 89th birthday. I know he was very special to you, Michael.
He really was, Robin. I mean, the man gave me the start, and the reason I'm here right now, sitting in front of everyone on this TV screen. Tributes, of course, are pouring in for Regis, who graced our television screens for more hours than anyone else. He's being remembered for his wit, his warmth, and his everyman sensibilities.
I'm kissing up to this guy for another bag of peanuts.
Regis Philbin stood above the rest. For over 60 years, captivating TV viewers with his wit.
Your heart's holding up good, ain't it?
Oh, I called him last night to tell him.
I thought I was in good shape unless you heard something.
And his humor.
He gets mad. He's a man, you know.
Oh.
But when he threatened to punch that guy in the nose, who does he think he is? Frank Gifford?
He's a Guinness Book of World Records holder for most hours on camera. Born and raised in New York City, he'd get a job in the 50s behind the scenes on The Tonight Show. By the 60s, he was a sidekick on ABC's late night talker, The Joey Bishop Show.
Regis Philbin.
Yeah! What is that?
Gaining national fame in the late 80s alongside co-host Kathy Lee Gifford.
How many people here heard about fax machines before this show? Who did not? You're just doing that to aggravate me.
In 1999, becoming a star on primetime as well.
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Philbin, famous for one catchphrase in particular.
Final answer? Final answer? Is that your final answer?
2 years later, a new host joining him on the set of Live, Kelly Ripa.
It's Live with Regis and Kelly.
The duo sitting side by side for 10 years.
This will be my last year on this show.
Before stepping away in 2011.
As you said, you're not retiring.
No.
You're just going to do something else. What's your next act?
I'm taking meetings right now, as a matter of fact.
Are you?
Oh,
really?
yeah. I'll let you know, Robin.
And as he stepped away from Live, I had the chance to step in. Some very big shoes to fill.
What are you going to do with the rest of your life? You know, you got a lot of personality, a lot of charisma. What do you think you're going to do with all
Well, there's a show that I'm on right now that, you know, maybe you want to...
Are you saying...
Live with Michael and Kelly. Welcome.
You never know who's going to sit here next.
Right to the end, Regis would keep on entertaining. Earlier this year, visiting the set of the revival of Millionaire with its new host, Jimmy Kimmel.
Regis, no one will ever be better at doing this than you. No one, never.
Didn't seem too sure about that one, but you nailed it. Now, that's funny. Come on. This is 21 years ago.
Right, it's a long time ago.
I loved doing the show.
And just a few months ago, one of his final appearances on TV playing himself on his daughter's show, Single Parents.
Gelman, can you hear me?
Millions now mourning the spontaneity, candor, and heart that made him so special to watch. Kathy Lee Gifford tweeting, Regis, there will never be another. And from Kelly Ripa and Ryan Seacrest, he was the ultimate class act. He left the world a better place. Regis Philbin died on Saturday at the age of 88, but his memory will live on forever. It sure will. And to help us remember Regis, we're joined now by former Good Morning America host and best-selling author Joan Lunden from her home. Joan, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You and Regis, we know you worked together for years. So what's your fondest memory of working with him?
My fondest memory is probably just the fact that, you know, I worked with him at Walt Disney World on all the Christmas parades and Easter parades. And in the beginning, I was with a lot of other hosts, and he was always our guy on the street. And he always wanted to be the host. But it was delayed because he was so good with everybody on the street. Because he was kind of an everyman's man. He never tried to elevate himself to be bigger, to be a big star. You know, it's funny, on social media I posted and everybody said, we feel like we lost a friend, because that's how you felt, because he was so personable. He wasn't someone on the air that was reading lines. You worked on that show. I mean, I don't know if everybody realizes what it is to do the first 20 minutes of a talk show every morning with no script at all. I mean, he would just have to wake up and think, like, what did I do last night? What did Joy and I talk about? And he could make 20 minutes about ordinary life entertaining. And he was just always fun to be around, whether we were on the set or whether we were off having dinner. Because when you do a job at Disney World, you're at Disney World. So we always brought our kids. He and Joy would bring JJ and Joanna, and I had my 3 girls. And when we would be out to dinner, it didn't make any difference what we were doing. If somebody came up and wanted to talk to him, he always gave them time and like focused in on them. Yeah, he was that kind of guy, just a huge heart.
He's very kind, very generous, very giving. And as you said, he literally could talk about drinking a glass of water and make it be the most entertaining glass of water that you've ever drank in your life. Do you think just the everyman sensibility is what made him so popular with everybody out there?
I think that is. I mean, that's a quality. I think that to be a good talk show host, you have to be a real fan. You have to be able to revel in your guest's success. And he always did. And he could poke fun at himself, at Joy. She was like the best sport in the world, or at any kind of ordinary life event. But he did it in a way that it was always comfortable for you at home to laugh. He never did it at anybody else's expense. But, you know, he was a one of a kind, like this consummate showman. I don't know if we really have them like him these days, but he was incredibly quick.
Yeah.
A quick wit and really spontaneous, which you have to be to as you know, to be at the helm of the show.
To entertain like he did. To entertain like he did, you have to be quick-witted. And everyone has their moment, their memory of Regis, something that makes them smile. How are you going to remember him?
Walking into do a promo for, I think it was the Easter parade, and the 2 of us walked in, and all of a sudden they said, all right, you know, this other guy walks in, like an older man, normal looking, to do the commercial, and they give us our scripts, and I do my line, Regis does his line, and this man does Donald Duck's voice. I mean, Regis had the best reactions in the world. And people always said, what's he like in real life? And he was exactly the same in real life. And that's because he wasn't someone who went on the air and just read a script. He was just completely genuine and authentic and himself. And I think that that's almost disarming, you know, for a television personality. And he was always wanted to be like of the people, one of the people.
And he definitely made that happen. Joan, we want to thank you for joining us this morning. Really appreciate all of your time and helping us have some more great memories to remember Regis by. So thank you to Joan Lunden. We're going to have much more on Regis with interviews from our GMA vault in our next hour. And you can see our special, Regis Philbin, The Morning Maestro, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern right here on ABC.
Michael, you said it just a few minutes ago. Regis really gave your television career a huge boost.
Yeah, he created a show, George, that just fit me perfectly. And he was always so gracious, always so helpful with me. And when I took over, when I went to the show, I said, okay, I got to fill these shoes of Regis Philbin. When you get there, you realize you can never fill those shoes. That show was Regis. He built it, and that was him. And when he left, it will never be the same, even with me there or anyone else. That was really the personality of Regis.
He is a special, special man.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.